All right, thank you so much for coming back. Here we are with the politically correcting podcast. Why are your lights always brighter than mine? I look weird in my video. I feel like maybe it's just terrible screen that we have here. Anyways, welcome back to another politically correcting podcast with your host Jose Pio. Finally, well, we got Lavelle here. As always, he is mask free this time. And we finally have Dan from the streets back. Welcome back from your hiatus.
The spectrum's back. I'm not even. Can you hear me?
I don't know.
Okay, I didn't know if you could hear me through all the coronavirus that's been circulating around.
Jeez, everybody got the vid. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're back at full spectrum strength. The only good spectrum in Rochester. You can quote me.
Yo, I diagnosed myself with the vid. Just because everybody else had the vid. So, like, yo, I had to have the vid too.
Did you have fatigue?
No, I wasn't tired.
Come on, man. That's like the number one thing you're supposed to say. Yeah, I got fatigue. The vid.
Well, I mean, NyQuil ramen noodles. That's all I had.
If you drink enough NyQuil, you won't even know if you're tired or not.
You never know the difference, man.
Yeah.
Responsibly, though. Only one capful.
Yo, shout out to that remedy right there.
Spicy noodles and NyQuil?
Spicy noodles and NyQuil, man. It's the best. Like,
now, do you microwave the water or do you actually put it on oil?
It's microwave all day.
Oh, you whack.
No, because I have the styrofoam.
That shows you're a single man.
The styrofoam cup of ramens all day long because that's the only ones that's spicy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now, if I have to throw them in the pot,
killing the environment.
Yeah, I am. I know, but they about to ban that soon.
Worse than the 2 tons of masks that they found in the middle of the ocean.
Yes, I know.
2 tons.
I gotta let the guest know that you're not on video yet, so we're gonna get you on. We got a guest here tonight that we're gonna get on here as soon as we get going.
The voice
of your insight.
Voice of the future.
The voice of the future. That's right. I think that, to be honest, we have been over listening. It's usually overlooking, but over listening. Like we've been talking to each other back and forth as grown-ups and as doctors and as Facebook doctors and as Instagram doctors. No one's been talking to the kids and saying, look, what do you guys think about all this? Because I could think it's crazy. This person thinks it's insane. What do you think about it? Because you got to go through it on a daily basis. We're going to get Isaiah here in a minute, though. Let's go through a couple of things here. First of all, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Got to hit the algorithms. Make sure you comment down below. We always pick our favorite comments every week. At some point, we're going to get shirts made.
One of these days.
We're going to get shirts made, and we'll pick it that way. Whoever gets the best comment, we'll get a T-shirt. But today,
we gotta wait till this COVID go down
after the vid. Due to having our underage person here, we have decided as a crew to not have our drinks with us today, so that Mama Santiago, is there Mama Santiago? I hate to. Mama Santiago doesn't think that.
On the way here, I was thinking about that too. I was like, I'm pretty sure we're not gonna be drinking today.
So people got water.
Nobody gonna be trying to say, "Oh, you were giving." Nope.
Right.
Not today's show. We sober.
Whatever.
Straight up water.
The only thing we're going to extend from last week's conversation is about how often the government lies to us. And we're going to start off with the first topic here about the shopping season. I may not actually, you know what? Let me get your insight into this because it may not be a lie. The shopping season that Biden came out and said that this shopping season was a success. Do you think it was a success? Do you think that with all the supply chain issues that we had, was it a success? Did your kids get off the gifts that you ordered on time? Because I didn't. Mine
I didn't order anything.
Oh, a lot of my gifts did not come in because they were sold out. They weren't there, whatever. So, that's how mine didn't make it. It was shortage in stock. It was not available.
So do you think it was a success? Was shopping season a success?
I mean,
shopping season goes from Black Friday to Christmas Eve.
I'm not that big of a shopper.
I'll tell you. I went to JCPenney the other day. All right.
You were the one?
No, I was not the one. I was not the one. But I had to go because I was getting I wanted to get a blazer for a New Year's Eve party that I was going to.
You bougie.
I am bougie, dude. I love showing out on New Year's Eve. And
You will not outdress Jose in
you will not
a function.
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
And the thing is, you can shop on any level, man. You can go check out the boys section. You can check out the adult section. You got it on all of. You can.
This guy.
He's got a whole.
Jeez.
That's racist, right?
Listen,
we do that as racist.
Jose's got his booster. He's good. He's up there.
Not the shot. Not the booster shot.
Got the shot. You got the C.
Got the booster C.
Tell me about your JCPenney blazer.
I walked into JCPenney after it was open. The lights were all off, mind you.
Of course they are. They don't make any money.
Right. I walk in. There's stuff everywhere. I go into the guys section just to find a blazer. I swear to God. Like it looked like it was after Black Friday shopping and they hadn't restocked the shelves. And the lights were off.
Were you at the Roundabout Mall, Medley Center?
I was at the Greasers Mall.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not better.
I had to go to Target. That's why.
No.
They can't wait to turn it into a warehouse.
Man, if Greasers Mall is not turning into a Roundabout Mall within the next 5 years, I will be very surprised.
What about Marketplace, man? You go to Marketplace, that's like even worse. That's not even a mall.
I don't go to the mall. That literally was a one time. And I know JCPenney jackets fit me right. The JK or JF Ferrari ones are really good.
Did you find the one decrepit, store worker that was there that has been there?
She was old as hell. I think her ass was old as hell. She's been working there since it was freaking. They had the things that went out in the mail, and you had to order it through there.
Oh yeah,
all these jobs is about to be gone.
She probably got a pension though, so that's good.
Yo, think about it though. The overall mystique of going to the mall is dead. Like honestly, like
these kids won't even know. We used to go to the mall to talk to women, talk to girls.
Well, it's not even hit. Like I've got about a decade plus on our guests, and I'm a decade younger than you guys.
Yeah.
And even I remember when I was in high school going to Goose Ridge Mall, and they told me I couldn't be there. I was like 17 at the time. It was probably about your age.
Yeah,
they're like, no,
18 older.
So that was like 2008.
Yep.
And man,
all the fights. It was all the fights. You had to be 18 and older to come into the mall.
Well, and that's the thing.
Because you hoodlums.
Just going back to the article here. It makes sense, like shopping had to decline. I don't know how it could be a success. I don't know. Is there an answer to that?
Shopping season for shoplifters.
Yes, that is a fact. Good one, Barbara. Because
Barbara might have already won it.
Ooh, out in Cali, boy, they gets it in, boy.
You know how many times I walk past the jewelry section? I'm like, man, I could just if I only didn't have ethics or values or morals, I could.
If I only wasn't city council,
I could just do like a punch to the window. Out. Sorry about the cacti that's in that picture. That did not pertain to that. Let's go on to the next one. It has to do with the GOP governors. What they're saying about what our government is doing to them. They're controlling the supply of COVID treatments. So remember when they withdrew all of the what was that COVID treatment that they were doing in Florida? That people were flying down to Florida to get monoclonal antibodies. Yeah. So they said these red states were using up all the monoclonal antibodies, so they're taking away from them and they're going to give it out to the other states to make it more equitable.
There's that word again.
Well, when I had COVID a few weeks ago, I was like, oh, I wonder if I could go get monoclonal antibodies. I have no idea what that even means, what that entails. I don't know. You can't get that unless you are pulled into the hospital. You are so sick that you have to be pulled into the hospital like overnight for them to give you monoclonal antibodies. You can't just go to like one of these fast little places and say, hey, I'm sick. How about you stick this thing into my arm or whatever? Not the vaccine, monoclonal antibodies. And hook me up here. Well, it's not available.
My thing is, man, like, and I'm just saying through my experience dealing with the vid and just knowing people have had the vid, a father, he had the vid. My mom had the vid. Everybody had the vid.
Everybody's had it at this point.
Everybody had the vid at this point.
Isaiah's had like 3 times.
Yeah. All these treatments and all that still is not better than some damn spicy ramen noodles and some NyQuil. How sick are you?
Medical misinformation.
I just want to know.
We're getting canceled. We're getting canceled.
But no, my whole point though is how sick are you, yo?
Right.
Like when you get sick, who's really about to call a doctor?
Who's going to emergency room?
Who's going to call your doc? Who's calling their doctor when they just don't feel good?
But that's what's happening with the majority of people. When you look at the numbers of who's being of hospital visits. as opposed to hospital. Actually, you're getting checked in and you're going onto the ICU bed, or you're taking away a bed from somebody. It's been multi-millions of people who have visited the hospital, and not very many people have had to stay overnight.
Listen,
99% of the people who get COVID and are sick and are really sick still don't need to go to hospital.
I can only speak off of experience, and I'm not saying that my experience.
That's my experience.
It's the same as everyone else, right?
Just
Let me put
off.
the disclaimer out there. So, when I had to take and admit my pops to the hospital, he was going in, as a high blood pressure diabetic who's having trouble breathing, and we all know that his diabetes was just was an issue, because as I go into his house to, pick him up to take him to the hospital, you see a nice pan of, fish oil, because you could tell he had some fish, not too long ago. That's not good for a diabetic. So we know the reason why we're going to the hospital. We take him in, admitted, comes to find out, he tests positive for COVID. Week before, he tested negative. Anyway, long story short, he's only in there for a couple of days, whatever. I talked to the nurse. She goes,
they was giving him air.
She goes, gave him some oxygen. We're just taking his oxygen is a little bit low.
Man,
your dad
they were milking
high blood pressure. We gave him some medicine,
it.
and then we gave him some for his diabetes. But your dad's gonna be fine. So what about the COVID? Yeah, your dad's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
We just got him with some oxygen. So we're just gonna keep him a couple of days. He comes out, gets discharge papers. And you look at the medicine for the diabetes, medicine for the high blood pressure. Medicine for the COVID, vitamin D. So what are we doing here, y'all? What are we doing?
Very similar happened to my dad, and I called the hospital. I said, does he need to stay there? Can't I do exactly what you're doing? Because what you're telling me is that you're giving him oxygen and you're making sure that he's taking fluids. And you got some medicine that you're giving him, whatever remdesivir, I guess that was it. I don't know what they're doing for the COVID thing. And they're like, well, we're keeping an eye on him because he is high risk. I'm like, we all know he's high risk. He knows he's high risk. Can I take him home? Can he do this at home where he has people that can come and see him? He can actually, get some sunlight into his room, get some freaking fresh air out in his backyard if he wanted to. No, I ended up taking his computer and his cell phone charger to the hospital. I walk into the hospital, I walk straight up to the thing. I said, can I take this up to my dad? He looks at me and goes, I don't think so. As I watch nurses walking in without their mask on, getting it at like the next doorway, getting their mask and putting it on. And I'm like, there's so many people around here that are not wearing masks. I'm wearing the same mask that your doctor is wearing, right? Is that mask protecting your doctor? Yes. Okay. So it's going to protect me if I go see my dad. Can I go see my dad and make sure he's okay?
Right.
They wouldn't let me.
Wow.
They wouldn't let me.
Wow.
So what are we actually doing? First of all, we've seen a couple of times that it's like when you take people away from their loved ones and you put them in a place where they're getting treated by people who don't really care about them. They're trying to get that extra money.
I thought that was the first strike that as people we should have been up in arms, because there's nothing. There's
alone,
nothing.
Yes,
you're
alone?
dying. That aspect alone, right? That dynamic. You're alone in a hospital room where there's like no loved ones. To actually watch someone die through Zoom,
right.
which I've witnessed that.
Ooh. That's so messed up.
That's the worst thing ever. And the nurses, they don't have that interaction to where they have to be on their game. Like they can't just tell you anything when you're person to person. When they're on the phone, they can tell you whatever they want to tell you, and you have no real way of knowing what they're doing to your loved one. Let's not act like every single medical professional out there has morals and they have ethics and they are treating every single person with care.
And
that is a
myth. No,
that is a myth.
They hate when you find out you're unvaccinated. They hate you.
And the only reason why I say this, because you can tell that they're trying to perpetuate that, that to the people to where you don't ask any questions to the medical professionals. Whatever they say is what it is, and that's what you should know.
Well, they basically, become car dealers, right?
Yeah.
They're the salesman at the car dealership, and not all of them, but a lot of them. And when you're like, well, hey man, I don't think that Ford over there, that manifold might be cracked. I think you got to get that changed before I buy that car. And they're like, no, it's good. What do you mean? We've looked it over 100 times. That's what the doctors are doing now. They're like, no, you need more vitamin D. Get it up there, push it in, syringe.
I was gonna say, what are we pushing it up there with?
Right.
That, I got quite a few things on here, but I want to make sure that we I want to get the youth involved in understanding where your mentality with all this stuff is. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up Isaiah here. Isaiah, thank you so much for coming in. Isaiah Santiago there. We're gonna pull up
bedtime coming up.
I know about
bedtime.
I want to pull up some articles here, and
it's just because Lavelle's old.
Yeah,
and he's got kids your age. He's got kids your age.
10. Get in the bed, bro.
And we're gonna pull up some things. We'll continue on this conversation. I want to get your insight into it because us being old men, not so much Dan here. We want to get your insight into it as well. This one in particular, bring up the Dutch. What's happening in Deutschland?
Well, that's different.
So the Dutch police dispersed anti-lockdown protesters in Amsterdam. Look how that is outlined out there, right? Reuters, right? Like pretty much a pretty good middle of the road, maybe a little left leaning once in a while type of place. Dutch police disperse anti-lockdown protesters in Amsterdam. Show that picture again. Look at them. Hey, you guys, just go home. Thanks for coming by, blah, blah, blah. It says opponents of restrictions imposed in the Netherlands to contain the spread of COVID-19 protest, despite it's illegal to protest over there right now. Pull up the other news article that actually shows what's really happening over there. And you tell me if you've seen this. Is this something that you've seen in the news? Man. This is New York Post. It says Dutch police dog bites anti-lockdown protesters as demonstration turns violent. There's a video out there that's been seen over 10 million times of this protester right here being freaking mauled and attacked by this German Shepherd. Mauled and attacked. Over 10 million times people have seen this video. And they're out there with the batons. If you look at that top picture as well, you see that one cop that's pulling back the baton. They were beating people with batons.
That looks very Southern South Carolina 1960-ish.
Doesn't it?
Oh,
I mean, are you being taught that in school about, racism back in the day with Jim Crow laws? That's still being taught these days, right?
Yeah.
Okay, people are acting like racism is not being taught in school somehow. When you see that picture, what does that say to you? What does that look like to you?
Well, when you see the picture, as far as like COVID and lockdown, there's so much to it, like even beyond like America and like Canada and all these other countries. But when you see something like that, no matter what, I never believe that anybody should be silenced. Everybody should be able to have their voice. And you see right here, people are being demonstrated to be silent. They're trying to have them be silent. And I'm not with that. And also even like the media who's putting this out there like this. To try to fear other people into not saying anything. Like again, with COVID and lockdown, there's so much to it, but I'm never ever with people being forced to be silent or people not being able to use their voice.
So that's amazing insight, first of all, because the fact that I want to say you're so young because you're a young man, and you're seeing it for yourself without someone having to tell you about this stuff, that these people are being silenced. They're being not only silenced, they're being quelled. And their protests are being squashed, and these dogs are coming at them. I mean, these are something that's been in. When I say our history, I do say I mean people of color back in the days of back in the 50s, 60s, 70s when dogs were used for freaking attacking protesters. Like this is terrible, and this is happening in Dutch country here. But you brought up something that was the other part of that is the discrepancy in reporting. Is that something that you have been witnessing, or is that something that you're keeping an eye on?
So as far I've never really noticed like how important media is until around like the last few months to see like how different stigmas can be put out simply by the media and simply by bias media. So I've really been looking at that lately. I've been really noticing like this is a really important part, and we have to be very cautious with how we're putting stuff out because we're influencing thousands of people.
So what was the catalyst there to make you to have you open your eyes to see what was actually happening there? Because again, you're a young man. Was it friends that you were talking to? Was it grown-ups you were talking to? What was the catalyst there that opened your eyes to see that different media outlets were programming you to see things differently.
So there's different ways that you can see that. I mean, I believe like once you get that look and you understand like, okay, this is not what actually happened. Definitely when you're in the moment. So like, let's say I've been working in the city for a while in the community. So I work with a lot of politicians and stuff like that. So when you know a politician person to person, you're at that event, but then you see a article that says something totally different than what happened. You're like, that's not what happened.
It happened to us.
I was there.
It happened to us at January 1st protest of last year.
Yeah.
When they said it was a bunch of anti-vaxxers protesting.
Which wasn't true.
Wasn't true. It was, and they always say, and they said it in city council president at that time said it too. It's all white Republicans that are out there protesting this stuff. Like they're saying it's Trumpers out there protesting this. These are other countries. These are other countries. You can't keep saying that it's Trumpers out there or Republicans out there protesting when you see that it's not even America that's doing these protests as well. It's all around the freaking world.
Yeah. And I'll tell you the truth with that. I like from the beginning, you know, I got those texts, you know, you're a clown. And at that time I was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
And this is like in the beginning. Like now I'm more experienced, like just a little bit more.
Have you lost some friends?
But in the beginning, no. But in the beginning, you know, but in the beginning, you know, I didn't really understand. So I'm seeing like all these comments. I'm like, I'm about to reply.
Right.
I'm about to reply. What, you call me a clown? You at your house doing whatever you're doing. Like, I'm not the clown, but I thought about it as going along. Like, they want the attention. I never stood against vaccine. The vaccine is a vaccine. What I did stand against is the vaccine becoming mandatory, and I still stand against the vaccine becoming mandatory because everybody should have their decisions. People who get vaccinated, I'm with you. Good job, you got vaccinated. People who don't want to get vaccinated, I'm with you. Good job, you didn't get vaccinated. So we all understand. You know, again, there's two sides to everything, and I'm like right in the middle. Like I don't care. You know, I don't care. Get vaccinated. I am so proud of you. Don't get vaccinated. It doesn't really matter to me.
You know what? I think a lot of kids your age though don't get enough credit for being independent thinkers. They like y'all. I will give y'all credit. Collectively, a lot of kids are like just don't give a fuck. Like a lot of kids just don't care, like about anything, really. I mean, and not
because they got 70 more years to go.
Yeah. Well, so there's a difference, right, between Isaiah saying like I don't care and being informed, and then I bet you some of your peers, right, Isaiah, saying I don't care and not
knowing at all. And that's why I said I know both sides.
Right.
I'm just standing in the middle. Like whichever one you want to do, it doesn't matter to me.
Sure.
But like you said, being informed, knowing what you're going into, except for making a statement and not knowing what you're making a statement on. And also with what you're saying, like this generation, and then many people don't really see it because it's older people looking at a younger mindset, and you're never going to understand the younger mindset because you're not in that young mind. You're not in that young mind. So like a lot of people see this generation as a failing generation, but when you look at it, our generation is doing more than the older generations could ever even think of. Absolutely. We're not accepting those cycles anymore, those family issues. We're not accepting it anymore. The mental health stigma. We're not accepting that anymore. We're moving on, saying that we're going to do better than how you guys did.
What do you think?
No wrong with nobody else. Like you guys tried and did your best, just like we're trying to do our best.
Did we?
And we're going to be wrong as we go along. We're going to make some mistakes that's gonna impact the next generation.
We're going to do it a little differently. We're going to try something a little different because y'all did it your way. We're gonna go ahead and do it a little differently, which I'm definitely behind. You have also brought something up about you're not for the silencing. One of the news articles Austin's gonna pull up here is someone that has been recently silenced by Twitter. Who she's crazy. This woman's crazy. But I don't believe in cancel culture. Like recently we had a school here locally that decided they're gonna cancel Jingle Bells.
What
about that?
I think I heard about that.
Jingle Bells, because 200 Brighton.
Of course.
Brighton, yes, Brighton, yes.
200 plus some odd years ago, Jingle Bells was sang by a white person in blackface at a minstrel show.
Brighton has the most. Never mind, I'm not even gonna say it.
You got the article for the for Marjorie Taylor Greene there. This woman right here, she is a conspiracy theorist, and look, she represents her district, her people, the way that they want to be represented because they took a poll recently. She is by far ahead of the her next competitor. She's like 71% going to be voted back in. The poll is she's destroying her competitor. This woman is the same woman that took a freaking sniper rifle, put it on the back of a truck, and then shot at like an explosive vehicle down the thing, and it wrote on it like liberals or something like that. And so she shot it, and it blew up.
She's my
The
type
liberals.
of candidate.
It was a cool commercial, but
my type of candidate.
She's obviously not anywhere near Atlanta.
You know what?
No,
I think
she's Georgia. No, yeah, not that. Yeah, not that Georgia.
The thing that just stands out to me is that, again, it's anything that goes Republican or conservative, they're always being placed in that anti whatever, to Twitter, to Facebook, to all these platforms that has the majority of the people looking and watching. And it's always just that one. Like, I've never thought of, like, would they ever ban Obama for anything that he's lied about?
Well, at least half of him.
Well, I mean, he
permanently suspends her, not temporarily.
Right.
Permanently suspends Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal accounts.
That's crazy.
What are they for? Like, when you see stuff like that, when you see, like,
because you said you don't believe in canceling anybody. So this person right here, that I have followed myself because I find her funny, or entertaining, should I say? Not funny, entertaining. She has said some things that were outlandish. She also believes that the vote was stolen for President Trump. She is a super Trumper. Again, not against that belief, and I don't care if you believe that. I don't care if you believe anything. I don't care if you believe in the alien with the spaghetti hat that you wear as a religion. I don't care. Do you think that a person
spaghetti hat
do you believe this is a line that maybe you could say, okay, she could be silenced, or is there just no, don't silence, because it's only gonna be idiots that's gonna follow her anyways?
When we talk about a line, there's always two sides to the line. So there's a side that supports her and stands with her, and there's a side that's like she's putting out false information. It just depends on which. And I heard Trevor Noah say something like this. It just depends on which side of the line that you're going to come from. Are you going to come from the side of the line that agrees with them, or the side of the lines that don't agree with them? I still don't believe nobody should be silenced. Canceled, then that's one side of the line. There's still a side of the line that's still going to follow her, but silenced, Are
you going to sing Jingle Bells?
That's a hard question. Of course, I don't know.
What?
I don't know. That's a hard question. Yes, because I don't know everything. I
don't know all the words to Jingle Bells?
No, I know Jingle Bells. Yeah, I know that. But I just said that you can't make a statement on something that you don't know about. So I don't really know about the whole Jingle Bell thing.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's talk about
put it like this, man. They was reaching on that one.
Yeah.
That was a far reach. I'm pretty sure you can go back and find everything has had some form of slavery or racism attached to it. This is a country that has been built on the backs of Native Americans and blacks and Latinos and conquerors, and that's just the way it was. We were conquerors back in the day. Let's be honest. Anyways, let's go on to the next one here. Our weekly vaccine news, I would say. The Mayo Clinic news.
That's good.
Where they fired how many employees? 700 unvaccinated employees.
Wow.
Fired them. I already know where you stand on the vaccination thing. You've already stated that. What is your insight into when you see this, that they are firing unvaccinated employees, yet at the same time, the CDC comes out and says, you know what? If you are a healthcare worker and you test positive for COVID, just give it 5 days and get to work. So you can go to work testing, being positive, being COVID positive. You can go to work and work on people, help people at the hospital, but you can't be unvaccinated and you can't claim natural immunity. You can't say I already had COVID. I'm not going to have it again for the next 18 months or whatever. What's your insight into as a younger man here? How do you see that? Because to me, it's nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah, I still don't agree with mandatory vaccination and definitely firing people. I feel like it could definitely give us a backlash. It ends up messing us up, with the shortage of staff and stuff like that. But also with like this new variant, I don't even know how to say the real name.
Omarion.
Omarion, yeah, that's what it is to me.
Omarion.
I've been telling everybody at this point, it is what it is.
Just
If
get
I
it, right?
I
Just get it.
You get it.
Because this new one is just the way that it's even the most cautious people are still catching it. So it's like, so it's like if you sitting here and you're like, I'm not gonna come around people, stay away 10 feet away from me, and then you still catch it, you just wasted some time of your life because you just caught it instead of just living your life, end up getting
just walk with
Can you imagine?
Quarantine for when you have to quarantine. This new one, I'm just like, fuck it. If I get it, I get it. We move on.
Ooh, he said that.
Mama Santiago.
I don't know. I didn't
Take that part off.
My bad. My bad.
Go back.
He's around me. That's
Yeah,
my
way to
fault.
go. See, we should put him on this side. We should have put him with Dan.
Yeah, we all should just we should just all own our COVID, yo. We've had COVID at least. If we didn't have it this year, we had it last year.
I've had it twice.
We probably had it like 10 times, y'all.
I had it twice.
Could you imagine? Think about this though. How's this gonna work, y'all? Where you got a guy that's taking a test every week, right? He catches COVID in December, right? Did he catch his COVID again in January? He catches it again in February. Like, you testing positive every single time you're getting tested. How long are y'all gonna keep doing this shit?
I've heard a conspiracy theory regarding these tests. All right, so let me ask you.
Asterisk with that medical misinformation incoming.
It may be medical misinformation, so I am not saying that this is for real. What I'm saying is, if you look at the testing kits on the swab part, it tells you that the swab itself has like 2 ingredients or something like that, and part of it is like some kind of not formaldehyde or nothing like that, but it is some kind of chemical that's on the swab, and that's why it's in a package all by itself, and it's outlawed in China. And if you inhale enough of it, it causes issues with your body. And when you see all these at-home tests, and I can't believe this too, because I got a whole box of them. I was handing them out to people that wanted them, and I'm looking at them. I'm like, how are all these tests made in China? How are all these masks made in China?
Yo.
Like, if I were a diabolical, scheming, maniacal, freaking crazy person like Xi Jinping, what I would do is I would create a disease, spread it, and then make money off of it while also killing them at the same time by inserting things in there that are allowed in that country but not allowed in mine.
I'm the problem and the solution,
right?
But also not the solution, because I want this to go on forever.
Who wrote The Art of War?
But
Sun Tzu.
I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you about the take home test. I wasn't gonna do it because I knew I didn't have it. You know, I'm not sick. If I had any symptoms,
no. How do you know? You don't know. You don't know.
Shut up, old man.
You don't know.
Be quiet. Go to bed.
Get off my lawn.
You don't
with
know.
the new one, I wasn't gonna take it, but I was at this place and they were like, you know, you gotta get tested, blah blah blah. So I opened it
You're at
and
this
I
place
saw
called school.
Was it the research
no, it
hall?
wasn't school, but I'm not gonna say where it was.
Okay.
But I opened it and I was getting ready to take it. And I saw the stuff. I saw the swab and I saw the testing and the liquid. And I was just getting ready to do it, but my Uber came up. I came home.
Oh, savior.
Yeah, I went home and I still had it on my dresser. And I was like, this is a science kit. I'm gonna do it. So I did it like a science kind of thing. I thought it was
Did
cool.
you swab your dog's nose?
No, mine. And it was pretty cool.
You see people swabbing random things? There's YouTube videos of people swabbing random things, taking the test kit, closing it, letting it sit, and actually showing that it's testing positive for like random things that has nothing to do with your nose. Like water out of your faucet.
Oh, you're supposed to put it up your nose? I did it wrong.
The test.
Where do you
the tests are all? The test is all a game. It's all bogus. They want positive numbers so that they can go to the media and perpetuate the story of fear and we're all gonna die. You know.
Well, and I got something. Now that we got a young person here, it's disgusting to me that as adults we've shut down schools for almost 2 years,
And we're about to do it again.
We've said our
did do
fear
it
is
again.
more important than
Bring it up. That's one of the arguments. What a segue, Dan.
I didn't even
Off
know.
the streets popping in here with the segue. Rochester City School District students to go remote. Literally, I said it before the Christmas break. I said, watch. They're not coming back. Or if they do come back, they're going to claim that all these testing kits show that people are positive. We had 4,000 some odd test kits that came back positive today or yesterday. And over 2,000 of them were at-home test kits, which means maybe they weren't showing symptoms. Maybe they really weren't. It's like, who knows?
The Rochester City School District Teachers Union is filled with a bunch of pussies. Period.
Yeah.
If you guys,
Well, it's teachers to still report though.
no, they're a bunch of pussies because you're gonna blame it on the kids. Then the kids are the only ones that suffer through this right here.
Yep. Yeah, it's our fear.
Well, let's let the kids
right.
talk.
No,
You guys are
because we're
talking
adults
for
and we
him.
need to talk.
Well,
Did you
right, we
suffer?
talk
How-
about this because my kids, they're home now. They're
How do you feel going to school
remote.
every single day? How do you feel about it?
I've been happy to get back into school. My whole high school career, I've only had 9th grade as a full year. I haven't had a
Oh
full
my
year.
God.
I'm a senior now. So it's definitely,
Oh,
it hasn't been
like
easy
that.
on Zoom. And I hate Zoom with a passion. I told my teachers
good.
today, I was like, don't expect me to come on the Zooms. I'll do the work, but I'm not coming on the Zooms.
Yeah.
You got to get a cardboard cutout of yourself and put it in front
just
of
put
the
it right
camera.
there. But I'm not excited at all for the Zoom. And I'm like, I'm not the Zoom, but not being in school.
Aren't you done? Like if you're a senior, can you just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm just going to go to college early.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Is that still a
I
thing?
don't go to college. You'll see me on the side of the street asking for money. No, but I had a whole meltdown. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in the hallways and you're not supposed to have your phone in school. There's like a yonder pouch that locks up your phone. And I know how to
those now? That's a lot of money to be.
I know how to break through it.
like that.
So usually I have it in my pocket, but that time I took out my phone. I was like, you guys gonna suspend me? What you gonna suspend me from Zoom?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You gonna send me home?
Yeah, send me home. I'll take it. But I'm none of us are excited. Nobody's happy. Definitely this being my senior year, I really want the full year. And also I go to School of the Arts. So and I went in for acting. So usually you become a part of like the plays and the musicals and stuff like that. But because of the time, I haven't been able to be a part of any plays. And now I just got a part of one. And now it's questionable on whether we're going to do it. So
Just show up. Just
is
show up and
embarrassing.
start doing it. That's what I'm saying. Get organized with your other colleagues there, the people that are doing the play, the kids. Don't involve any adults.
Should they Zoom play it?
Well,
no,
I want to
show
know
up and just do it. And then
what numbers
make 'em
are they
kick you
using?
out.
What are they using?
But-
what parameters are they're checking? What is their checklist?
it's their fear. It's all
yeah,
right.
but
It's
what?
all right.
I don't want to
But
know.
if
I
you
want to know
see-
the list.
If you really like read the articles and stuff like that, they're not really focusing on the positive cases of corona. They're focusing on the staff that's gone because of quarantining and because of corona.
See, they have to put something out there, right? They have to put something out there. There has to be a reason for it, right? So even within that right there, like, yo, I want to know, are these people really sick?
All the teachers are
I've
vaccinated.
seen
If
so
you are a
many
teacher in a
people-
city school district, you are vaccinated.
Yo, I've seen so many people vaccinated,
so if they're sick
unvaccinated
and
with
they're out-
COVID. Yo, what are they doing?
Then why are you telling me to get the vaccine if you have
Exactly.
teachers that are out and you have healthcare workers that are out?
But still, why, yo?
So let's talk about the
Why don't
alternate-
the teacher just Zoom from their room?
right, bro?
Like, yo, if the teacher can't make it to the room, then your ass can be right up there on the screen where everybody can listen to you. Go ahead, teach.
What about the alternate universe? Let's bring up the meta
Meta
universe article here. What are your thoughts on that? Where the future shows that our kids are going to go to school by putting on their Oculus
They don't want nobody.
and
Black
sitting
Mirror.
at their desk at home, looking around and just seeing their
Black Mirror, man.
That's
co-conspirators.
that's actually pretty scary. You know, to think
that the way we have it?
that at some point we're not going to be sitting in the room. We're going to be sitting in like a virtual room.
Right.
I that is scary. I'm telling you, if my children are born around that time, I would never, because we have to understand the power of being able to feed off of each other's energy.
Right.
Like me being able to talk to on Zoom, it wouldn't be like this.
No,
I'll be sitting
absolutely
down
not.
talking, but I have the energy of you guys. There's nothing like sitting in a room with other people and definitely like being outside playing basketball,
Right.
doing tag. And I'm glad that I was born around the transition phase where it went from, real neighborhoods, everybody knowing everybody's parents, all the children. Here's the 3 streets that you can run through, and you know that you're going to be protected. And now you see that you're not really at that place anymore. So to see from how my childhood was to see how it's supposed to be now, oh man, and how that's supposed to transition, I could never imagine allowing my children to do that, because I mean that's not healthy. There's no way that could be healthy.
Well,
You're giving us hope by what you're saying.
physical and mental.
Right.
Physical and mental.
The fact that you
and
recognize that, though, that's huge.
And it's not, and we just keep doing it. Like we've shot metaphorically speaking, our children in the feet.
We did.
Just because of like our fear. And that's so cowardice.
Well, what it says, this article says the metaverse is a second chance to right the wrongs of social media.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's making people not even want to be around each other even more.
You put a shoebox on your head and then tell me that you're getting the same social interaction as meeting people face to face. You're not.
I mean, I used the thing. I was like, the fuck?
You went on there?
No, so, you know.
That's going to be the future of dating. It's not going to be
was,
catfishing anymore because you can be dating an alligator from.
Well, I was playing one of those, you know, these little virtual games or whatever. And I'm like, this is not even cool. Like, it's not even fun.
But that's all it's meant to be, right? That's where this VR thing should end. Entertainment.
Yeah,
it should not be.
Well, the entire problem of all of this, you know, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. And I'm going to tell you the whole basis for all of this.
Enlighten me, Jose.
It is ugly, soft beta males who are running the country right now.
I agree.
Because they want that mask on your face because if I'm ugly and you're beautiful, like Jose Pio,
well,
you're wearing a mask and you're covering that beautiful mug of yours. I'm going to go ahead and wear my mask and I'm going to be just as
That was the joke, right, Isaiah? So I said that to my wife when this whole thing started with the masks. I go, man, I wish I was in high school now. Because, like, if I had acne or something, I'll just wear a mask. Who cares?
Yeah.
Anyone say that to you? Yeah, like, it's a joke. And now it's like, nah, it's messed up.
For some people, it's good. For some people, you know, who have self-esteem issues and stuff like that, which is all right. It's good. But that's a comfortable place. You never want to be in a comfortable place in life. You always want to be pushing yourself and having that
he's only 17.
That low self-esteem.
Did y'all hear that?
He's only 17, yo.
Having that low self-esteem problem and wearing a mask, it's not making anything better. So for some people, it's good, you know, to block the acne and stuff like that. But for some, I hate it.
But what it is, it's not. You're not supposed to learn that the world's not scary. You're supposed to learn to be brave.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Well, just think about this. Just think of the kids who were born from 2020 till 2022. They will always think or believe that it is natural to see someone walk with a mask on their face. You don't see that facial expression, that smile or that frown. That's just basic normal human interaction.
You gotta be careful with dating nowadays because you don't know how they look. I be seeing some girls, I'm like, dang, she fine. She pulled down that mask. I'm like, turn the other way. That's not the right one.
It's like living in a Middle Eastern country where they have the.
Well, they're already marked though. That's that.
Right. Maybe we need to go back to that. No, not gonna happen. Would you get into a prearranged marriage?
Oh no. Like my parents make the decision. No.
You wouldn't do it?
No. I want to find my own girl.
And you selfish.
Whatever.
All right. So what was the other part of that? So the cancel culture. Hold on. Sorry, I'm probably bringing up my notes here. We brought up the.
You take
these
notes?
Kids. I do. I always have notes.
Nerd.
Yeah, huge nerd. That's the other part of it too. Is these people with low self-esteem, and you're seeing that the mental health of these kids is being completely overrun. We're not talking about it. We don't care about it. We're popping them full of pills. We're leaving them alone because parents still have to go to work, or they have to go down to their computer downstairs and work. And parents just like, just do your homework. Just listen to your teacher. Media.
It's all these bubble butt bitches out there that.
Hey, whoa.
Hey, these are underage bubble butt bitches. You can't say that.
Well,
I enjoy them.
Those that are on Instagram that have found a way to create this false image of what is beautiful and how. If you're not on Instagram, you're not looking like that, you're not getting that attention. Most of those little females are not even going to think that they're even worthy of anything. And then all the boys, they're only going to look for that. That's the only thing that they can deem as attractive. So that whole social interaction between our youth has been destroyed.
It's already been destroyed.
It's been destroyed a long time ago.
You're texting everything. You're dating by the day, really, because every single day you could just be like, hey, I'm kind of done hanging out with you. I'm gonna go out and, is that still a thing? Like how do you kids date these days?
Oh,
I don't even want to know because I know Lavelle's got to be going through like,
damn girl, you got a hot mask.
Right. how is it?
Like as far as like dating a girl that I've only seen with a mask, I haven't done that yet. So the
Ooh.
last girl that
That's
I
like second
dated,
base now. Take your mask off.
Yeah, the
Be
last
careful
girl.
now.
Yeah, that's
Don't-
the sexy part. Take your mask off. It's no longer. Never mind.
The music starts.
But the girl that I dated last, I met her in 10th grade. So right before,
so you know her.
Yeah,
You know her.
right before virtual, and we went out all the time. Every week we were going either to the movies or something like that. So it was pretty normal, I guess.
There you go. Keep her in the dark. That way she's always pretty.
Oh my gosh, we are not giving out any relationship advice.
No,
Yeah, we're not here for that. Trust me, you don't want to hear relationship advice from us.
What happened? Did like parents get involved? Like, did
As
you?
far as our relationship,
Yeah. No, I'm curious in the sense of like, so this girl obviously, she's living with parents or guardians or whatever. Did they, if you didn't have a mask on, did anyone ever like say anything to you?
Oh, no,
did you say anything?
Did they ask if you were
her-
vaccinated?
No, her family loved me, so I was
good.
always with them. I never really wore a mask. We rode places
Sure.
to Darien Lake and stuff like that. They never asked me to wear a mask, nothing like that.
So what's the flip side of that? After that, did you meet somebody new?
Right now,
Yeah, sure.
no, that relationship just ended. I'm yeah.
Was
I'm
it the mask thing?
I'm
Heartbroken. Way to bring it up. Was it a mask? Did she take off her
I'm
mask and you
over it.
found out?
No.
Damn.
With the mask.
No, I'm all good. I'm like I'm going to take a break because in between stuff like not to sound like a hoe, but I went 3 relationships back to back to back.
So anyway, so let's.
So I'm like, I need to take a break in between this because I'm gonna lose me while trying
Sure.
to.
So
There
the
you
whole
go.
premise of this conversation really is to try and get into the minds of youngsters and how you guys communicate today, right? So going forward, right? Would you rather spark up a conversation through Instagram, or would you rather go up to him and be like, yo, listen,
Lavelle's trying to get advice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we getting dating
I
advice
have
from him right now?
17
No,
I have 17 programs that I'm working on right now with
the mayor
new
knows
mayor.
me.
I just
The
sold my
mayor knows
second
me.
NFT.
right.
I'm
No,
triple vaxxed.
no, I'm at the point because Instagram, if you're texting a girl off of Instagram, it's strictly because of her looks.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, it's more than likely a filter that they have on or something like that.
Man.
So I'm more in person. I'm at the point of sometimes personality can come over looks. Like, of course, they can be ugly, but if you look all right,
Personality wise,
and your
personality.
personality matches and your personality is really good, oh man.
You
There's
ain't
so-
gonna
that's all it really
catfish me.
takes.
Bro, you know how many times
You won't catfish me with that page.
You know how many times I meet people in person that I know from social media, like they comment on my stuff and we're kind of like in the same groups of everything. And then I see her in person. I'm like, you've been using filters the entire time because they'll be like, hey, I'm blah blah blah. And I'm like,
yeah.
really?
You be
Hold
out
on, I
the
have to,
game
like,
in a
look it up,
while
like,
too, boy. You
whoa,
won't
stop
even know.
using filters.
That filter game is serious. And I'm like, yo,
Not that
I
I'm
don't
looking
even
at these
know
women like
people
that. I'm
actually
just
do it.
saying, like in regular everyday life, there's no way I'm able to tell who you are when every single one of your pictures has filters in it. So when I see comments from specific people, I can see the names. Like I'll remember, okay, the name, blah, blah. Oh yeah, I know you from social media.
You know what you should start doing to all of you 3? Stop using social media.
He's just saying that because he doesn't have internet where he lives.
Yo, I have definitely
That's true.
I've definitely went to rehab on my social media usage, and it is definitely a wonderful thing.
How far can you go with it completely off?
I'm
Facebook,
off.
Instagram, Twitter,
You can't go
Podcast.
like because if you go
that's
off
true, I'm
for
on the internet
so
right now.
long,
right?
like you're gonna
Exclusive.
something in your mind is like, I gotta say something today.
Well,
This
Elon
shit
Musk is making it so that the computers can be attached right to your brain.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
But as far as like taking breaks, like I would love to. I
There's a
don't
butt
mind. Like
coming.
if you look at my Facebook, there's like no just regular posts. Like I just went and ate something. It's all stuff that's gonna
Further your career?
for me. That's where I got my organization moving. That's where I got the class I'm creating moving. That's how I got my song moving.
Which we need to talk about.
So
Now
that's
we've gone
really
through
where
pop culture here.
that's really where I push it at.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
And
I use it in a
it's not
different
meant to
way.
be your whole life.
Well, talk about your actual life there. Talk about, what are the programs that you're doing, you're a part of, you're starting with your fellow youth that you're trying to build the future of American politics or American culture? What is it that you're doing? Talk to us about that.
So as far as like the organizations and stuff like that, so I'm the founder of an organization titled We Got This. So I started that in the beginning of summer of last year. And I started that right after I came out with my song. So like We Got This, my song I'm Free, like they all work together.
Did you bring the song?
I didn't bring the song. I should have. You can find it
on
anywhere
YouTube?
Isaiah Santiago, I'm Free. I promise you it'll come.
Austin's gonna pop it up.
But like it all works together. But when I came up with the idea was because I lost a friend. His name was LaShawn Curry. He was shot and killed around Clinton Avenue. And I knew that it was time for the young people to help the young people because nobody understands us like us.
He wasn't that one that was shot and then they started like taking things out of his pocket.
I don't think so.
Oh my God, that was a word. How old was he?
He was, I think, around 19.
And I'm telling you that these young kids are getting shot off in this city. How does your generation feel about that? And I'm glad you start these organizations. How do you guys feel about the fact that you see more and more teenagers dying in the city every single day?
It hurts because I lost two friends. The one that I was just telling you guys, LaShawn, and the 15-year-old who got killed last year. He was the last 15-year-old. His name was Jameer. And it really hurts. And then when you look at it, it's really a cycle. And this is why I've been trying to tell the politicians, because I've been trying to tell them this.
You tell Jose.
It's a cycle.
You tell me.
It's a cycle with the young people. If you lost somebody, and I learned this after losing Jameer, when you lose somebody, now you're frustrated. You're frustrated at the whole entire world because you're like, you should have been there to save him. He was a bright young man with a bright future, bright personality. He just, he was just killed. So it's like, now you're frustrated. So then now you go to school. Anybody who look at you sideways, you're ready to snap on them. So that's how you get right into violence. It's really all a cycle.
Hurt people.
Hurt people. And once we understand like this cycle, then we'll be all good. And a lot of people ask me, definitely adults, like what can I do? How can I do? And a lot of people think, go straight to an organization, donate, stuff like, yes, you can do that. But what you can do immediately is call that young person that is going through something. If you know that they lost a friend, call them, talk to them. If you know that your niece or nephew, you haven't talked to them in months or years, call that niece or nephew because they're hurting. A big issue with gun violence is hurt young people. They're hurting. If you know that you haven't talked to your son or daughter in a long time, talk to those people because they're hurt young people that's now at risk of violence. Because they're looking for attention because your love is gone. Your love is not there because you haven't talked to them in years. So why not go to this gang that says that they love me? They love me. They're my bros. They love me, and they're going to give me money while I do it, and they're going to give me this drug that's going to temporarily satisfy the hurt that I'm dealing with your absence just so I can continue moving on. Why not go into that? Now I get into gun violence. So it's really all a process that we have to understand. There's so much to it. There's more than just, family absence and stuff like that. But that right there is a big issue around gun violence. And with that understanding, I knew that I had to do something. And not to be rude to you guys because you are older than me, but most young people,
so rude.
Most young people, they don't listen to you guys. We don't listen to you guys.
Right.
Like you guys think that we do. Sometimes we do. Not to be mean. Like if you have children,
they listen to Austin.
I don't listen to these guys either.
I
don't even listen to myself. What are you talking about?
They listen, but once you get to back in my day when I was a kid,
I was gonna say that.
Once you get into that, we like, I don't want to listen to you no more.
Let me tell you about the 90s.
Good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I don't know because I'm not at that point yet. Yeah. But when you have peers that's there, it's totally different. The impact is different because I understand you understand me. So I'm gonna listen to you.
So how much into philosophy do you get into?
Not much. Ask me a question. I'll tell you if I can answer.
Well, it's arts and music that you're turning these kids into learning arts and music or getting it out through arts and music, right?
Yeah, I was just about to get into that.
Right. So the basic just the basic premise of the question is, through philosophy itself, just there's knowledge that always get passed down from generation to generation. So do you think that maybe there could be a little disconnect on each generation side? Because if you're automatically saying, when we say back in my day, but again, experience is pretty much the best teacher that we have as humans, you know? So that experience of that adult could be something that they're trying to share with you that maybe it can relate to where, it could possibly help you as a youngster.
With that, like as far as so although I said we're not listening, I promise you, like we still have that. No matter what, it's still there. And I'm just now learning, like now about to transition to 18, that some stuff that my godmother and my mother said when I was 15 was true. It was right. So we're more of, let me try it out. And if it, let me test the fire, and if it burns,
that's right,
and it burns. But adults have to understand that, and they have to respect that.
Well, you know what kids and adults both don't listen to? It's hypocrites. So if you got somebody telling you, don't do this when I did this,
exactly.
Nobody wants to hear that. But I think that's what a lot of our generation tries to tell you. Well, I did this, but man, you should.
Or get off that cell phone because it's going to rot your brain, and we stay on it.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like that's where the disconnect is. Why your generation might not listen. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of hypocrites in this world.
A lot of them.
And we talk about them every week.
And with it, as far as like the whole process of creating this organization, so I knew that I wanted to give young people an opportunity to work in their passion for free, and definitely at-risk young people, because at that time that's who we needed to focus on. So basically what I did is, after I got it like officially, I'm starting this organization. I put it out there. I'll figure out how I'm about to get all the stuff after him. But for right now, I'm about to go out to here and get some young people who's going to come on board. So I went out my house one day, very bold of me, walked down the street, found all the drug dealers. He
just pat his own shoulder.
Found yes, thank you.
Remember that wrestling?
Found. You said get ready to speak myself up. I'm speaking myself up. But listen, I was walking down the street. I found the drug dealers that were teens. I found the people who were out there playing basketball on the basketball court. I just asked for their information. They gave it to me. So as we went along, I was finally able to talk to Mayor Lovely, and they gave me a recording studio that's at the David Gant Center. And they were like, you can use this for young people. And I actually was saying this in a meeting today. With at-risk young people, a lot of people are trying to get to them, but not understanding how to get to them. Mm-hmm. And the way that you get to them is showing them that coming to this is going to be way better than doing this.
Yeah.
So if you come to this program, listen, you're going to learn how to become better at rapping, at singing, at performing, doing poetry, whatever you like doing. You're going to be able to become better at this. And on top of that, record your music for free to publish out there.
It's a dope spot. I went to the David Gant Center. I toured it, and I saw that room, and I was like, what the hell is going on in here?
Yeah.
Like,
it's
the dopest.
It's pretty cool. So
it is. It really is the nicest rec center. That's messed up. That's not in the Northwest. Continue.
So yeah,
that's
it's coming. Don't worry.
Oh, they need one.
So that's really how you really get to them, is to show them that this is better than doing this.
Right.
And with that, I had a couple young people who were originally a part of gangs. A lot of people don't know, but there are rap gangs in Rochester. This is pretty crazy to me. There's rap gangs
like
in
back
Rochester.
in the day when they used to have
There's gangs that make songs against each other. Yeah, they beef at those songs that they make against each other, and then they end up with the shooting and stuff like that. I had two young people, teenagers, boys around my age, that came into the program like that. And I got them into the music, and we continue going. But they're still out on the streets, because we go Tuesday and Thursday. They still have that time to go do what they're doing. But once we get to the point of it's time to record, and once I found the opportunity for them to perform, okay, now you have to come to practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so you can record and practice for this performance that we have on Saturday. Once you have all of that, they no longer have time to focus on the drugs or to focus on whatever else there is. They only have time to focus on their craft. And because you're doing it, you're doing it, and they're taking it subconsciously, not knowing that you have a whole strategy on them.
Right.
Then by the end, they're so into it that they're like, I'm done with that. Why was I even a part of that in the first place? So now I'm glad to say that both of them, they're totally out of the games. They're still part of the program. And they stay at the David Gant Center more oftentimes than they are in the streets.
So how can we got multiple different perspectives here, because we've got the parents' perspectives, we got the grown-ups perspectives, we got the from a political perspective. How do we help that then? How do we help further that cause of what you're trying to do here? Because you said you have 2 days a week that you're doing it. Is there a way to make it so that it's 5, 6, 7 days a week, where it's a constant inflow of people, these kids going in and out? Or is it more of, hey, we need funds to be able to do more outreach and getting these kids away from the gangs? What is it that can help you?
So there's like a whole process in this, and I just figured it out. And Jose, you have to know about it. In the city, there's like so much, so many layers to get to this one thing.
Yeah.
That that if you have like a good initiative like I do that has been shown to help, you should be able to just grab it.
Right.
And right now, there's a couple of issues that we're going through to keep pushing this program and actually get stuff done, because there's a lot of promises that, hey, we're going to get this done for you by this date. And then, I'm still at, I started this program in July. We're here now. It's still not done.
Hey,
So,
maybe Malik could get some of that money from that philanthropist that he was trying to
full on
get to pretty much give everybody $500 a month for just existing. Maybe he can ask that philanthropist to fund programs like this one.
I caught Dan on that one. You didn't hear it.
No.
You would think that that's more looking towards the future.
Yeah,
investing in our youth and investing in the next generation.
Instead of having a philanthropist come and waste their money on people who's just popping out like hotcakes.
I asked him if he watched It's Always Sunny. He doesn't.
No, I gotta watch it now. After
it's garbage TV. Don't rot your brain with it. Isaiah.
What's the show that you watch? What do these kids watch nowadays?
The last one
outside of Naruto, that's on his shirt.
Yeah, maybe. Naruto. The last one was Squid Games. The last one was Squid Games. And that was fire.
Yeah, that was
fire.
I've been seeing a lot of these cartoon things, these Asian cartoons.
It's called anime.
What's your take?
It's called anime.
What is your
these young kids nowadays? They're animatrix.
Squid Game was a anti-capitalist movie show. What is your take on capitalism?
Ooh, this was actually a conversation. One of our first conversations, he brought up. I was like, "Oh, what is your view on this?" And you said something. What is it that you are? What is it? An nihilist or anarchist? Something like that.
You must have been talking to somebody
else.
No,
I'm not no anarchist.
Capital anarchist. I don't even know what the hell that is.
It wasn't.
They got me on
somebody else. Sorry, maybe it was somebody else.
I don't know. When you go down that road again, there's so much to it, but I don't know. There's so much to the stuff.
He's still growing. He doesn't know.
Yeah,
he's not even old enough to vote
I'm not
yet.
really.
Well, he liked the show Squid Game.
Yeah,
I
but was it because
message.
it's just
you understood
the message was fire?
The message was anti-capitalist.
Yeah,
message. So, that's what I was asking. What is your take on capitalism?
We're gonna have to skip to the next question because I don't really, I would.
There you go.
But I don't have.
It's the only system that pulls people out of poverty at a rate faster than
it is.
That is true.
Any other way in the world. It's also not a zero-sum game, which is a mistake that a lot of people make. But we'll continue on with something else.
All right. That's first of all, I love that. Second of all, you said you teach the kids about sound engineering, studio recording. And you have a most recent project that's creating a mental health literacy class.
Yeah. Good job.
To get into the school district after seeing the rise in drug overdose and youth gun violence. So we've seen a lot of fentanyl pouring into the city. What's happening with the kids and drugs?
Drugs is like the new thing. Everybody, well, I wouldn't say new thing because you guys are probably doing it in high school also. But
I never touched a drug.
That everybody in the school is doing. There's like the new vapes. I think they're called.
Everybody's
hides.
doing it.
They're called like hides. So it's not like you're smoking. It's like a vape, but it's weed. So it's like, and you can also add other stuff like fentanyl and stuff like that. But do it, but like powder stuff and stuff like that. And you could do it in the bathroom because there's no smell of smoke. It's like a vape. So there's a lot of people doing that. You see them walking through the hallways or sleep during class, and you know exactly why they sleep.
They zombieing?
What they just did in the bathroom. So it's a big issue. And like I said earlier, is that as far as like the gun violence and the drug overdose, is that this is a reaction of hurt young people who simply don't know how to deal with that hurt, but to temporarily satisfy it by those drugs, that gun violence, by getting into those things. So my question was, is there any classes in the school district that helps young people understand this? Figured out that the answer was no. So what if we do get this class into the school district to help our young people identify, problem solve, and resolve mental illness the right way, and resolve their hurt the right way instead of the way that we've been seeing them do it? So as I went along with that, it's been going pretty good. I've been talking to the whole Board of Education.
That's a tough animal to get through.
Were you talking to the wall or actual people? Because a lot of times you just be talking to
they are all pretty. This is like a new thing to them, and it's just now becoming like this. It's been an issue for the longest.
Wait,
it's been
drugs in school.
No, mental health.
Oh,
but that will
okay.
be a complete uphill battle because I tried putting together a entrepreneurship class.
Yeah.
For one specific school in the Northwest, and it was just you got to jump through hoops, cut ribbons, freaking just all the red tape.
And I've been making sure. Making sure to stick, inside the line. So when I do get in front of the Board of Education, they have nothing to say because of this. And now even with the new funding, they have nothing to say about money because they just got, I believe it was in the millions of dollars for mental health resources.
Oh, wow.
So I'm making sure that I have everything in line and I have people in the school district, not like the Board of Education, but other people that's part of these departments that's been coming in to make sure that I'm staying on the straight line to make sure that it's a class that they can't really find any issues with when we do get there. But luckily, all of them, they know who I am. I've met all of them, and they all, just about all of them, support me. There's just one that I'm questioning their support. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm questioning their support.
I'm like, when this boy going to school? When did he
drop.
graduate?
Right.
Ain't he going to college soon?
Let me ask you, Isaiah.
The superintendent.
Do any of your friends smoke cigarettes anymore?
Oh no, cigarettes.
Nobody smokes. None of this generation.
Cigarettes is disgusting.
Yeah.
Right? It's disgusting.
Trust me, my generation says disgusting.
Them backwoods, though. Get that backwood.
No, that's
79 and prior, if you were born.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
it's all vaping now. It's all vaping.
Right.
It's all vaping.
So that's what you're gonna say in about 20 years. You're gonna be like, man, these kids are all with their things, just vape like an adult.
Well, drugs, no matter what district, it could be city school district or out in the suburban schools, drugs is always going to be an issue. And it's always the least talked about issue within everybody's household because who even knows that their kid, who wants to admit that their kid is on something?
Right.
A lot of people just want to ignore it and turn that blind eye. Like I said, I told a story a couple times in 7th grade. I knew people who were addicted to heroin in 7th grade.
Yeah.
12 years old, addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
So to say that it's stopped, it's probably even worse than it was. Back then.
It's definitely more widespread now.
Definitely.
How's how is meditation in your life? Do you meditate at all, or is it in your school? Do you do?
As
where's
far
meditation?
Meditation is extremely important,
right?
But I'm not the best at doing it.
Okay.
I move.
But you do meditate?
I do. There's times I just sit down and quiet.
I feel like it's gotta be hard for these kids nowadays because there's so much going on.
But my brain never stops.
But that's that's still, no matter what, even as an adult, you can't. I mean,
it's the same for me.
Yeah, I can't. I haven't gotten like a good night's sleep in about a good 2 years. Between like the gun violence and after I lost my friend, like my brain is always moving on new and innovative ideas I can have to end this. And there's times that I wake myself up at night. Like I'm sleep.
Taking notes.
And I wake myself up, like I'm sleep and I'm sleep talking. And I wake up and I'm talking about gun violence. I'm like, you're supposed to be sleeping. I say, like, come on, you have school tomorrow. But I really do struggle with stopping, but I can't.
I was gonna say they make pills for that. That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
No, I'm messing with you.
But do not go that route. We're gonna make sure because our time is coming up here. Yeah, we're already up. Damn,
man, all this fun.
Let's play a minute or two of the song first. Let's hear how this is going, and
I'm free.
We'll end it so this child can go to bed.
Is this explicit lyrics though?
Or like he can go to bed.
We're talking about Lavelle.
He has a good sleep. Lavelle has a good sleep.
Grandpa.
Can we play it? Are people gonna be able to hear it? Okay.
You're about to get.
Did you produce it?
Copyright.
No, I just recorded it. I wrote it and recorded it.
Okay, who produced?
The people at Wicked Squid Studios.
Okay. I was there with you.
Yeah.
You said you love me.
You a singer?
But your actions don't show.
Okay.
Didn't expect that.
You hurt me. The scars are to show. You said you love me, but your words broke me. And now I say no more, because I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Let me hear you sing it with me. I'm
Yo, the heartbeat in my ear though. That's great production right there because it's really like on my ear.
Yes, what's up?
Your words cut me down.
That's pretty good. Make sure anyone out there that's listening to this, make sure you go look up "I'm Free" by Isaiah Santiago.
Yeah, man, we gotta get those views up.
Right.
Get those views up.
You got.
I like it.
We're gonna blow that up.
I like it though. That's
Blow
really
that up.
good.
That's what's up.
It's really good, man. Congratulations.
I'm gonna cut that off before I start crying over here.
Oh man.
Man, that was good, man. That was really
Thank you.
good. You can tell that the emotions were written out.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're singing though. At least you know you wasn't about to come in and sound like you was on some lean.
Oh,
like shout out to all of not shouting out all of mumble
Shout out to the mumble rappers.
Reminds me of Brian McKnight. Ooh, you know who Brian McKnight is?
You don't know who Brian McKnight is.
I don't.
You don't.
Oh, you don't know Brian McKnight.
Oh, man.
I don't know who Brian.
You don't know who
my
Brian
God.
McKnight?
I'm with you,
Austin
Isaiah.
either?
I'm with you, Isaiah.
Oh
Don't
my
worry.
God.
Yo,
The
you guys got
youngsters over
homework.
here.
You guys got homework to do tonight. But now you have to pull up Brian McKnight. Pull up Brian McKnight.
He's from Buffalo too.
Is he?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Brian McKnight is from Buffalo.
There's a
Born in
song.
Buffalo.
Probably his best song was the one from has numbers in it. That's all I remember. Brian McKnight.
You're not
One,
true.
Yeah.
like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Two.
I know.
Oh,
I know that
copyrighted
song.
songs.
You know
Yeah,
that
I know
song.
that song. I
Yeah,
know that
now
song.
you know who Brian McKnight is.
Well, he didn't
I
say
know
more than
that
3
song.
seconds of it, so we have to pay. We
There's a
gotta pay him or what?
storm back at one.
Yeah, we're definitely getting pulled.
Yeah.
Stop it. Out of all the things we've done, we're gonna get canceled because of this.
Under the Copyright Act of 1976,
Right.
parody is allowed. So
I do not own the rights to this music. Well, Isaiah, I appreciate the time that you spent with us here, and I appreciate everything that you're doing, brother. And
Yes.
I tell you straight up, honestly, whatever you need, let me know. It's all about the connections. It's all about networking. It's all about, who you know in this world, because you may not have what you need, or I may not have what you need, but I know someone that might. So it's all about networking, and keep it up, dude. Keep it up. I would like to see that same audio visual location that's at the 1R Center over there in the northeast, right? Yeah. I would love to see that in every section, There's no reason why we don't have that, so that these kids can get off the streets, show off their internal skills that is innate inside of them, and just, man, idle hands is tough. It gets you into trouble.
Yeah.
So just keep these kids active, keep doing what you're doing, keep working on that meditation and prayer, or whatever it is that you're into. But man, just having a silence of mind, trust me, it helps. What did help me, because I'm the same way where my mind is all over the place. What did help me was lying on my back. A lot of times they tell you to sit up straight or something like that. I just laid on my back and just laid everything out like that, and it did help me with my meditation. So I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
And man, you're a shining example of what these kids can do these days. And I hate to keep saying kid, man. You're a young man, and you got so much more ahead of you. And you're gonna really impact some kids in this school.
Thank you.
And that's impactful.
Thank you guys for bringing me on here. Also,
yeah, absolutely. It was a fun time. I had a good time, and that song was dope.
Thank you.
But during your travels with music and everything, let me know if you ever come across Kanye West, because we're gonna have him on this show. Damn it. During your time when you're going to be doing on Broadway shows and everything like that with your acting, you might come across John Leguizamo.
Okay.
Let him know we're looking for him as well.
You know who that is?
No, I don't.
You know John Leguizamo?
I'll remember that name. That's a unique name. I'll remember that.
You ever see the movie Ice Age?
Super Mario Brothers.
Like the
He's never seen Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah. So he was the voice of the sloth thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Or watch Tu Wong Fu.
I don't know what that is.
Don't watch
Tu Wong Fu.
You watched the new
Summer
movie
Sam or
Encanto?
something.
I didn't. I
Oh,
had
you
to watch
should
it.
watch it.
I have to
He's
watch it.
Bruno in Encanto.
Okay.
And watch it. That's 2021.
Yeah,
There you go.
Anyway,
That's more.
I appreciate you all coming on. Dan, thank you for gracing us with your presence finally.
Always.
And Austin, hit that funky music.
Ah, ah, ah.